he sent me this video about Sheikh Uthman. So I thought I'd listen to it, just do a video about that.
No, they were originally in Aramaic, and then they were translated into Koine Greek. And the oldest ones that we have are in Koine Greek, and that's why the original writings are lost. Because the Council of Nicaea and Pope Damasus and others, they destroyed the original writings to bring in their corruption.
Let me address the first assertion. Notice in his claim, he said that it was the Council of Nicaea, Pope Damasus, that got rid of the original Aramaic gospel or gospels, and basically they went with the Koine Greek versions, right? That's basically the gist, because he's talking about Jesus, that his gospel was in Aramaic, and then it was translated into Koine Greek, and then at the Council of Nicaea, you said three sources, right? I heard Council of Nicaea and Pope Damasus. What was the third? I didn't hear the third.
Others.
Oh, others. Okay. Well, here's my challenge. And that's why this man likes to talk down to people, shut down people, cut them off. But it doesn't work because, praise the Lord, God Logic Apologetics. If you haven't watched the recent uploads, he is annihilated, Uthman. I challenge anyone. You don't even need to go buy books or go to a Bible college or seminary to study church history. Sheikh Google, the greatest Adam who ever lived. I want anyone to show me where in the Council of Nicaea they were discussing Bible manuscripts and what versions of the Bible to copy and preserve and which versions or copies of the Bible to get rid of. It doesn't exist. It's a lie, because the Council of Nicaea had nothing to do with the scriptures and what version of the scriptures or what language of the Bible should be prioritized and preferred, and purge everything else. That was Uthman. We didn't have an Uthman. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. In our history, we've never had an Uthman who said, gather all these copies, burn them, and we're going to go with this copy that I deem to be authoritative. So praise Jesus, we had no Uthman. Muslims had Uthman. He's the one who destroyed Arabic Qurans from the companions of Muhammad. That's said Bukhari, volume 6.
Can I ask you something?
Hold on, Muhammad. Let me make my point, because I'm answering Uthman, not you. Okay, that's number one. Council of Nicaea had nothing to do with what versions of the Bible should be prioritized and copied, and how to expunge or purge the other copies, because that's a lie from the pit of hell. Because we even have copies of the Bible in various languages, not only Greek, Latin, Syriac, you name it, copies that go as far back as 2nd century, 3rd century, 4th century, 5th century, copies before, during, and after Nicaea. How come they weren't destroyed? So that lie goes out the window. Secondly, because he's an ignoramus, Pope Damasus did not get rid of any Aramaic Gospels. Pope Damasus has a comment on the canon. What books are canonical, inspired by the Spirit, and churches should follow? But you even had Athanasius in his 39th Festal letter also delineating, setting out those books that are inspired, canonical, that churches worldwide submit to. So Pope Damasus had nothing to do with getting rid of Aramaic Gospels. That's the second mistake. Now, thirdly, there's not a shred of evidence. There's not a shred of evidence that the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John, because that's what he's referring to, I assume, because he says that we're translating Koine Greek and they got rid of the Aramaic, unless he's saying Jesus had a book, went around with a book in Aramaic. I don't know what he means, unless you give me more context. The Gospels were originally written in Koine Greek. There is a tradition of the church, and I want to educate Christians here. I'm more concerned with Christians than I am with the Muslims, because Muslims are going to go in one ear out the other. There is a tradition of the church. We have Papias, some pronounce it Papias, a disciple of the apostles. He met the apostles. He was what in Islamic terminology would be a tabi, a follower of the Sahaba, the companions of Jesus. He was the bishop of Hierapolis. He had written 5 books on the sayings of Jesus. And he mentions that Matthew wrote the Logia, the words of Jesus, in Aramaic, and then everyone translated them as best as they could. So there is evidence that Matthew had written down the words of Jesus as a good disciple in Aramaic, but then Matthew himself produced his gospel in Greek, because the Gospel of Matthew shows it's not translation Greek, it's originally written in Greek. So just to put that there to silence this man's lies. Now, if his argument is this, that we don't have Jesus's words in his original language, but a translation, therefore they cannot be trusted or authoritative. For the life of me, I don't know why Muslims would use this argument. And now here Muhammad Sayyid, maybe you can answer this, unless you're going to change the subject. The Quran is written in Qurayshi Arabic, the Quraysh dialect Arabic. How do I know? Because in Sahih Bukhari, volume 6, number 510, in the old numbering system, And I can get the hadith. You want me to get the hadith for you, Hussein? He says that the Quran was revealed in Quraysh. Why is this going to be important? Here, let me tell you why. The Quran quotes the words of prophets like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, David, Solomon, Moses, you name it. Even Jesus and his followers speaking Qurayshi Arabic. So when you read the Quran, you have Jesus and his disciples and his mother and John the Baptist and Zechariah and Moses. They're all speaking Qurayshi Arabic, a language they did not know and never spoke. So if I'm going to use that argument, then why are you following the Quran when you don't have the words of the prophets in their mother tongue? You have it in a translation. Now, can you open up that link and show them what dialect the Quran was written in? Notice there in this hadith, Sahih Bukhari, when Uthman commissions Zayd along with 3 others, it says here, Zayd ibn Thabit, Abdullah bin Zubair, Zayd ibn al-As, Zayd the As, and Abdurrahman ibn Harith ibn Hisham to rewrite the manuscripts in perfect copies. The copy that Zayd had compiled during the reign of Abu Bakr that was now in the possession of Hafsa. Notice what he says. Uthman said to the 3 Qurayshi men, in case you disagree with Zayd ibn Thabit on any point in the Quran, then write it in the dialect of Quraysh. The Quran was revealed in their tongue. So now let's see if Muhammad's going to answer this question. Give me Jesus's Aramaic words. Don't give me Jesus speaking Qurayshi Arabic in the Quran. Do you have them? Why does your Quran quote Jesus speaking a language he did not know? Why does your Quran quote Moses speaking a language he did not know? Where are their original words? Show me Jesus's original words in his mother tongue in your Quran, and same with Moses and Abraham.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Sam. It is not based on what Moses spoke or what. These are Allah's words. This is what Allah is translating.
You guys hear me?
How is it not? Quran is the words of God. So it's supposed to be God's words in Qurayshi dialect. That's the way you're supposed to understand this.
Wait, Muhammad, don't run. But he's quoting
I'm not
Jesus.
running here.
Okay, he's quoting Jesus, right?
He is quoting Jesus, yes.
Allah's quoting Jesus and he's quoting Moses.
Yeah.
So why did Allah quote them in their mother tongue and preserve in the Quran? Why does he have to give a translation? Because Allah's all-knowing, right? You just said it's his words. And are you saying before creation Allah was speaking Arabic? So Arabic is eternal?
God knew all the languages, so it doesn't matter.
Why Arabic?
Right? Why? No, see, my question being, Sam, see, you asked me a question saying that why was Moses' language not in Arabic? What I want to say is, look, this is not Moses' words. These are Allah's words written in the form of Moses.
Words.
He's quoting Moses, of course, but it's supposed to be Allah's words given in Qurayshi dialect.
Why doesn't he quote it in Moses' language? Why does he have to quote it in Quraysh?
He's giving an audience. He's giving to an audience. It is given to an Arabic prophet. If the prophet
you buried Uthman, you buried your religion. Did you guys hear?
How was that? How did I do that? How did I do that?
Breathe. I'm gonna now embarrass you. Watch.
Did
you hear he said that Allah said in Arabic because the audience was Arabic? That's why it's in Greek, because God sent the apostles to speak the gospel to Greek people who didn't read or write Aramaic. You just buried your religion. Thank you. The world didn't speak Aramaic. They spoke Greek. Hello.
See, okay, let me ask you something. Did Moses speak Greek for you to tell me that? He spoke something else. Why don't you have
the Hebrew of Moses? We have the Hebrew of Moses in the Pentateuch, so stop embarrassing yourself.
Okay, fine. What language did Mary speak?
Mary would have spoken Aramaic. If Mary is talking to Jesus, she'll speak their mother tongue. But when the disciples go out and they want to explain what Mary said to Jesus, they're going to say it in Greek, like you have Mary speaking Qurayshi Arabic in your Quran. Are you listening or you're pretending to listen?
No, I'm listening to you, Sam. I understand what you're trying to say.
If Mary spoke Aramaic, why does she speak Qurayshi Arabic in your Quran? That's what I thought. You heard the pagans say the reason why the Quran is in Arabic is for the Arabs. And yet the gospel was for the world, and the language at the time was Greek. That's why it's in Greek. So now let's move to the next point, Hussein.